they wanted... Oh, they just get choice. Okay, so they chose first pick, Secret chose Radiant. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Spectre first pick. All right, what is happening? What is going on here? Is this really what they're just gonna do this entire tournament? Is say, all right, every single hero that you think, oh, you can't first pick that one, we're just gonna take it.
I mean, I know that they took in the first phase in their very first game versus Optic, which was a little bit wild, but that very first pick overall, I'm impressed. Very strong hero. I mean, you guys have been watching this hero for a couple months now. It always feels like you have a very good chance at bringing yourselves back into the game as long as you can get a little bit. But this is the hero that has also been very iconic in that time, because all we picture is pressure on the lane, the Pugnas, the Undying. You just want to run at this Spectre and make sure she can't get to that ratings, because once she gets there, it feels like she can do anything. No,
totally. And it sort of like always puts the enemy team on a back foot the entire game. Now, I will say this, and again, when you're talking about group stages, it doesn't necessarily have a whole lot to do with like this individual game that we're looking at now, but going forward, VP have sometimes been fairly predictable, and they've been saying, all right, we're going to win with this, come and stop us. If they keep going into this tournament and they remain like with this series of picks, I might start to get a little bit worried about them going forward. But at least this game, it looks okay.
The last time people called Virtus Pro predictable, they just picked every single hero throughout the summit, you know, never going twice, played elimination mode until the very last game. So
yeah, how'd they do with that, PI?
Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa. So don't do a guy like that. Come on now.
That's fair. I see what you mean. I completely agree that it is the type of thing where as soon as you think you understand them, then it's not going to go that way. But the first pick Spectre is a little bit out there, and I think Undying is a great answer.
I mean, they've only dropped one game. I think if you're picking these kind of like game-defining heroes so early on in your draft and winning with them, that's a huge problem. Because it's all about this respect. And these heroes, like, they're not really tier 1 in a sense. Like, Spectre is very good, but she's not like, you know, first phase ban material. That's supposed to be your Ench. You know, she's that iconic one that you think at the moment. But two green menaces there in the Undying and the Wraith King. Quite a bit of pressure. Possibly even a dual lane being played together, I would imagine. And then we get a Chen for Virtus Pro.
Kind of I guess to make up the fact that I guess Spectre isn't necessarily a weak laner anymore. You always think of her as that way, but she's become stronger in the past, and maybe need to shore up against the pressure you know is going to come from the Undying.
Yeah, she's still relatively weak compared to a lot of these other heroes. Like right now, we're making basically like lane dominators. Our current laners are things like the Ursa. We have the Monkey King, and it's pretty much those kinds. You know, Ursa, Monkey King, Pugna, Necrophos, those kind of heroes.
Okay. Enough. And speaking of the Pugna, he's going to get gone now. We also have the Mirana taken out and the Weaver. Yeah, I kind of am curious to see if this Wraith King is going to end up going into lane with the Undying. Obviously, like 2 melee never necessarily feels great, but it does feel like with these two, you can apply so much pressure that it might be worth it.
Yeah, I think that's likely the case. The only reason it wouldn't happen, honestly, is if Puppy ends up playing Wraith King, just because it's kind of like a bit of a classic there. But I think it's more likely that you're going to get some Puppy Undying and then some Yapsor hero that looks good in the match. But for now, these strong laners, the Weaver, the Pugna, they're going to be banned out here from Virtus Pro, as you would expect. Other cores, if it's not the Wraith King punishing into the Spectre, it's not a whole lot. I guess now Tiny is banned out too. So
Storm Spirit can sometimes be okay because you can like come line pretty quickly.
I mean, I'm just thinking like straight up in the first 5 minutes. I'm thinking like Ursa.
Gotcha,
you know what I mean? Gotcha. Like, what if they just went Ursa Undying, that kind of stuff. But Undying not having a good control element means it probably won't happen. So, in terms of the rest of Virtus Pro's draft, because we talked a lot about what they're going to do versus the Spectre for Team Spirit or for Team Secret, but in terms of these allies for Virtus Pro, their last Spectre draft, they just kind of went for that Storm Spirit, as you said, and they kind of worked in combination where it's like a little bit of a global presence with the Spectre and the Storm just zipping and haunting. But the IO being left in, now this is nice. I thought it was something they might go for the first phase, 'cause it's like left in, and it's like, oh, this is a nice big hero, and Secret, of course, can play it, but it's been a while. So that's likely going to be for Yapsor here.
Okay. Yeah, kind of nifty. And it's sort of signal that it's likely to be, I would imagine this is going to go in the bottom lane with whoever the safe lane carry ends up being, and then you run Undying +1 against the Spectre. But with so much lane swappage that you might end up seeing, it could also change that around too. Obviously, IO Gyrocopter has been a go-to. How do you feel about that matchup against the Spectre?
Ooh, IO Gyro. Okay, I mean, it's definitely strong in later parts of the game. Gyrocopter has been a pretty standard counter versus the Chen. It's almost worth picking here for Virtus Pro. With how well no one plays the hero out of the mid lane,
Yeah.
I actually would not mind them taking that whatsoever, because then what are they going to do with the IO? Probably actually have to fall back for the IO Ursa, I think, if you were Team Secret.
You could potentially take the Morphling at that point too, but that might be... It's still really good against the Spectre, actually, also. I think either IO Gyro or IO Morphling would be okay.
Yeah. Or Virtus Pro perhaps just already had something else in mind and might be more comfortable just ignoring the game plan of Team Secret and taking something that's more comfortable for them.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't feel like VP are that worried about Team Secret at this point. First picking the Spectre and second pick of the Broodmother.
Yeah, we already talked earlier about how Team Secret were in a rough spot with the 1 and 3. Now 1 and 4.
Ugh.
And being versus Virtus Pro is a very difficult day for them. That is for sure. And they'll take the Disruptor. So the iconic position 5 versus the IO +1, and one of the best heroes Solo has ever played. So he's having a great series so far. I got to play as Bane, now I get to play as Disruptor. These are the benefits of being captain, guys. You just get to choose. You say, no, guys, trust me. Disruptor's so good, even when it's not perfect. But this game, it looks pretty good.
All of these heroes feel like very comfort picks. Like it feels as if the bans that are coming out right now are at the meta heroes, but those aren't necessarily like the iconic ones I think of when I think of Virtus Pro. Roger Chen, like that goes back a ways, and it is going to be the Gyrocopter for Team Secret. Of course, Ramsey's very comfortable on the Spectre as well, but it feels like even though VP is getting a lot of the meta heroes banned out against them, they're still getting what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, I like what Secret have done here, though. This is a really good 3-4 to go for. Just teams have been building drafts off of this throughout the tournament so far. It was one of these things that was kind of milling about in the rumors before TI, just how ridiculous this combo was in scrims, and we saw it, and we're blessed with this whole tethered Gyrocopter attack, flat cannon, IO hitting for 160 on every single attack that Gyrocopter throws out too. It definitely gets a bit ridiculous once IO hits 15 with the Aghanim Scepter. It can just help accelerate that farm so that you get to that point.
Okay. Well, we have talked before about the answer of Morphling against Gyrocopter. Feels like it might be a bit too greedy with the Spectre in play also, but we have occasionally seen it out of the mid lane. Is there anything that you feel like would be a better fit that might sort of... What is it that Virtus Pro really need in their draft now?
I'm not sure if they're really set on something good for Pasha. Like, I could see Pango being picked here. I feel like he has a lot of AoE control, and they don't want to get banned out. But they go, that's a Pasha Shadow Demon. Okay, so we'll be Pasha's hero. But I like that. That's very good setup out of the off lane for Chen rotations. It's pretty good setup just for Disruptor stuff, too. You can just follow up like a Static Storm.
A mid Shadow
Demon? I don't think so. I think it's going to be Pasha playing it.
Okay.
It's definitely something they've done in the past. It's possible it could be for no one, but I think no one's just gonna be on more of like this DP or something.
It is a core Shadow and whatever it is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. So everybody's talking about the green heroes. What about the purple heroes? Show them some love.
Secret are pretty green, aren't they? They're like all green and blue, like Gyro, Io, Wraith King, Undying,
and the Radiant.
Wow, that's very themed. Yeah, these are some nice dark heroes on the bot, except for Chen. I don't know, he's got this bright white shirt going on.
But he's nearby like this sort of unholy aura of the Spectre too.
Okay, that works out. We'll allow it.
Yeah.
Some yin and yang going on there.
Well, it is now last ban for Team Secret, and need to figure out. I mean, what's the strength of the Shadow Demon?
Oh, they banned the Tinker. I thought they banned the Storm actually. That's interesting. What's the strength of the Shadow Demon? I think he's an incredibly annoying laner. Like, he just spams out on you, and even with just any sort of help, he can kind of do whatever. Like, I don't think the Disruptor is going to be going with the Spectre, because it's probably going to be too weak of a lane, right? Because Disruptor's pretty weak overall as a laner. So it's likely that the Disruptor needs someone who's super strong to lane with, and the Ench is already banned out. The Pugna was banned out. So they're probably just thinking about this other, like, really strong and annoying lane hero who can just kind of bully a lot. They can just go for disruptions, and then use the illusions for some damage. They can stack on Soul Catcher and just keep punch, punch, punch. And if you want to try and bring your strong lane there, that means they're drawing attention away from the Spectre. Storm Spirit? No, TA. Okay.
Oh. Well, it is definitely a hero that can make a lot of space early on. It does feel like you're gonna maybe want to spend a little bit of time farming, and of course I always like to talk about Shadow Demon's potential for stacking up jungle.
Yes.
He's in the offlane. You can probably stack up those ancients for the TA a little bit.
Now is the time. So Team Secret, they have done pretty well in terms of their pressuring heroes. So things that can try and slow down the Spectre. They only have 15 seconds left here now, and they need to find an answer in the mid lane, assuming they don't want to do an Eye of Gyro. And someone who is going against the TA, it will be the Ember Spirits. So this is what we are expecting the last game for the 10th pick to try and pull that to a victory. But it will be brought out now. The answer that Secret have fallen back on time and time again. We'll see if it can do it for them in this one.
Those cool little swords that mid one has too. They look like hooks. You know? Do you remember the ball from the Mortal Kombat series?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
I'm all in the Mortal Kombat. It's looking good. We could use some more Mortal Kombat heroes, I think. We got Storm Spirit, you know. We got Raiden down here off solo.
There it is.
That's fine. That'll do.
Yeah. The Absol is a punching bag. All good.
All right, well, we'll see who gets the fatality in this one. It was pretty simple for Virtus Pro previously. And I think Team Secret's... I like this backbone of the Gyrocopter. I was impressed by it so far in the games where I have seen it. We'll see how Fada does if it isn't him playing it in this kind of like aggro sort of a lane. That'll be a little bit curious.
Yeah, I guess that they're thinking that they just want to really bring the pain to Ramses if possible, and you know, try and keep this Spectre having a bad game. If you get the first pick, you need to be able to punish that coming out of the bat, and I think they have the heroes to do it.
At least you get a little bit of time now. We've had these little brief kind of like strategy. It's like the new strategy time at TI. As the draft ends, there's just a little bit of a breather, and then we go straight into the game. I think it's mostly just for admiring the cosmetics. You know, there's lots of time here to be looking at these and go like, oh yeah, I do need that shouty. That does look really cool. Oh, I want to be Raiden.
It's golden. Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, no. Come on, don't be so hard on yourself, man. You're great. It's okay.
God, have identified the problem that Virtus Pro's draft brings up, and how they have the pieces in order to try and solve it. Now it's just going to come down to play in a lot of ways.
Well, quite the maneuver up top here. The 4 heroes from Virtus Pro. No one branches off here. And it looks like Fada is indeed chilling on this Gyrocopter in the off lane. Plenty of regen between the two of them, so they are looking to battle and see if they can create some space for mid one.
Came out with the Sage's Mask. It's the answer stuff. I guess you can get the Ring of Protection at the side shot.
Fada making the plays.
I've often seen the off-lane gyro, but it does really feel like the meta right now is just, it doesn't really matter all that much, you know, which lane you send those heroes to. Like, it's not that much different from the safe lane nowadays. But it is Roger taking Penance level 1. Get that extra bits of harassment out.
Not sure how I feel with this raid game. I'd be curious to watch it for Ace this game. I think... Oh, Ramsey, yeah, that was a bold move with no supports. Back he goes. Oh, it was a bait.
Yep, sir, take damage.
Man, that hurts. It's a lot of your regen, honestly.
I mean,
down bottom though, Pasha gets the hurt on him, even with the disruption. That's half his HP too. So both sides taking some pretty serious blows.
Yeah, it is going to be a trade-off there, yeah. So Undyne and the Wraith King together against the Shadow Demon and the Disruptor. Kind of a weird one, definitely.
Yeah.
And it feels like Puppey should be able to have a hell of a time here. I mean, they're going to go for the Banishment. As mid lane still off CS there as well against no one.
Can't quite get the block either, so.
Puppey.
He had got in here. He still has a Fairy Fire, so it's not a real concern. He's kind of trying to like bait them low and then use the decay. Some nice dying play here.
Turn on to Pasha. Good bit of damage, but he should be able to escape.
Yeah. This is worth if you get the kill, but look at his resources. He's just TP. And how much did he really burn from the Dire? Not that much. They just salve on Pasha. So yeah, just curious to see this Wraith King in position 1 in the safe lane, and if he does go for the Smack Skeletons like everyone else has been, and what item he goes for. Because last time we saw it, he went for the Armlet and the Blink, and it felt like he just like wasn't able to carry hard enough. But in this game, he has this Gyrocopter, he has this Ember, and Ace is more so on like a Space Maker. So I think if he goes Blink, it should still be fine.
It's interesting. He's actually saving his point right now on Ace. If he's killing off creeps, you'd want to probably see him going for the Portal Strike, but I wonder if he's thinking about the Vampiric Aura.
Yeah, maybe just seeing if there could be some value there for between him and the Undying, but
yeah. At least for now, mid lane is where the action is going on. Root's going to connect there onto no one, and the TA Ember matchup so far going into the favor of mid one.
And it's top lane, the harass is pretty heavy here from FOD, just constantly spamming with these rockets. They're using the regen from the IO to keep it up, and they just keep the spam going. So even though there's like some vision here, it doesn't really stop you, you know. You can know where secret are, but they're still just gonna keep casting all their spells on top of you. Yeah, Ramsey's just completely under the tower here now, but still getting the assets.
Meanwhile, Puppey able to zone solo out of the lane pretty heavily. He's gonna go in Invis room and saunter away as Roger taking some damage. The spirits were hitting him, and now Ramses is the one getting into Fada's face, just daring him to come at him. They have the troll as well, so a good bit of damage thrown onto this gyrocopter, and the fairy fire comes too late.
First blood for a Spectre, first picked overall in the game. BP does it again. I don't know how they manage it. They go for Broodmother first, they go for Spectre first, doesn't matter. Somehow they get this hero off to a good start, and Ramses will be happy. It's all about Ramses in the end.
And I mean, again, it makes sense that you're going to be going for these spirits to try and apply the pressure early on to this lane, but it does mean that you don't have access to overcharge, which means that if Yapster is at full HP, you can't even Fada. Meanwhile, mid lane, no one get very low fairy fires.
No, it's dangerous.
Oh my god, both heroes just on absolutely nothing. As bottom lane, they are going to be able to find the kill on Pasha. So action happening all over the freaking place.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're going to get a mana once again here, but no one in the mid comes back, gets the harassment and his salve delivered, and he's right back.
19 and 5 versus 17 and 3. It's the type of matchup that it feels like if there was a big skill differential, like either side could just dominate the other one, but relatively even terms or trade in CS.
It's also one of these matchups. Oh, mid one. Oh,
Oh my god.
the angles. Where are they?
I mean, he's still in the area. He's dancing with them, and now no one pretty far. Now he's the fight kill. They take him down.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, I like that. Go with the respect tip. That's very well done. That's the positive reinforcement our community needs.
Definitely. Man, and that's something. It's a big moment. You can tell that both players respect each other a hell of a lot there. 2-2, just about 1,000 gold lead.
I think it's actually just the anti-factor. Like, you tip him first, just like pretending that all that moment really is being like, yeah, no, what a really good play. Like, no, yeah, go ahead, tip me after I tipped you. You know, it's preventative. Oh, we got a little replay here too.
Jeez, and both times, just a little sidestep there. He might have been outside of the range, but
yeah, no one thinking that he might have had it. But back in the main game, you see there was a little bit of drop there, but who cares about that? Because honestly, that was just way to go mid one. But
top lane, the double stomp into the punch, into the Fata, dead again. Roger takes that one away. Man, so far so good for Virtus Pro.
Yep, 3-2. Slowing down that top lane, and most importantly, just keeping Ramses very happy. He's not the very top of the board, or anything like that in terms of last hits, but he practically is at worth. He's only below mid one after that solo kill in the mid.
Yeah, and well, it is going to continue to look like a sort of stratified CS charts, as it's the Wraith King and that Gyrocopter who are on the losing side of it.
Oh, this disruption save on bottom from Pasha stops the stun from Ace and just neuters their kill there. Puppey just waiting for that perfect moment to drop the tomb. But the way it's a very difficult spot to actually go aggressive. They're gonna try once more here. They're so close to the tower that wow, that damage. All right, that'll do. You know, 300% crit.
I guess the other thing too is that like even the skeletons, they do a lot. These heroes obviously range, they can't make use of a stout shield, so all of the little hits add up really quickly.
Very nice little for them. However, okay, Puppey wanders mid. Haste Rune was left behind him though.
Hit one, second trap is there, gonna be applied. They do have an illusion rune, and again, at the Battle of Bruin, they get the chains off, and oh, Pendant's the right clicks. He's trying to run away yet again. They do have the one coming in, find the kill. Good one goes down yet again, and now Ramses is gonna get back towards the top lane. Roger and Ramses, duo.
And they're just trying to get some farm going for Fada on the app source. It's scared out here by Roger. But he won't stay leech. He's busy man. He's got places to be. Gonna wander back over into the bottom half of the jungle. Maybe put some pressure onto the bottom lane, or even just a Puppey. If he shows here, he's only level 3. Hellbear and a Centaur. I think Puppey might just be food here.
Although they are bringing in the Ember now.
No one is not there.
He's backing up. That's probably a good play.
Bit of a tease from Roger, I guess, in the end.
One brought his own sentry out also, so he makes sure that they aren't going to be sitting under any traps any longer, as it is still 3-4, about 1,000 gold lead into the favor of Virtus Pro. Mid lane, one pushing it out, and one for the chains, just keeping the refraction is off of him.
Yeah, and Roger's just bullying. He just comes into the neutrals there, and he's just zoning out Fada. So Fada's not up near the wave. He can't even farm his own jungle. He's pointing to where the ward is. From Roger, and he's correct, but Roger's just staying. He's not going anywhere. What does Fada do? He's starting to fall behind the other 2 cores. Just has to abandon their top lane. This is a Spectre. Look how much space Spectre. What's the closest Radiant hero? He's down here. Spectre throws all this.
That's kind of crazy. This is the perfect game, and again, first pick Spectre. Like, this is exactly what you want out of this hero. It's going to be a very tough time for Secret to try and get back into this. And again, it's not as if they're that far behind right now, but it's a big being ahead, particularly with an Undying in your game.
Yeah, and so the question that, beg to answer, like, what are they getting in return? So they're getting some gold on top of this Gyrocopter, getting some levels on the IO, and that's going to put some pressure onto these relocate plays in combination with mid one. He's going to have to be very active. Maybe he can get in towards some bots and kind of play a bit greedier, not to stop by for treads and everything.
I mean, I guess it should also be noted that we've seen that before. The other game, Aggressive was playing on the Gyrocopter, and he was able to get absolutely out of control. Because when you combo it together with the IO, you get those late game talents, and IO does become a damage dealer. And we've seen Yapsor get there as well. So it's not like it's a foregone conclusion that if it's late game, it's just over. But Spectre's scared. Yeah.
But even Fada coming in now, Roger's just leeching some of this experience, hanging around. And that is something that the Yapsor especially desperately needs. You know, you get to level 10, you want to get the talent. And look at that damage even.
Every time. They just run to him, and obviously the TP coming in now. They want to try and get this kill route. It does connect. That will be a dead Roger, as they will take all of the creeps with them.
Right. Did not get unlucky with the 3 units being there. That could have been bad.
That would have been tragic. Made that many rotations, you don't even find the kill onto the Chen. It was real bad.
So now Ace has made his way up top. He does not currently have a point in the ultimate, but just hit 8, so it is available. He wants to slap one in there, maybe hold it for a bit. And then the question is, like, what's Pasha doing in this game? You know, you got this offlane Shadow Demon. The nuke potential is absolutely absurd. He's currently thinking about going in towards a Spirit Vessel after his urn. And then the Aghanims has been a pretty standard item for the hero too, but initiation off the Ramses, they can't really chase.
Yeah, not
so low, and look, they can't even commit for that.
Yeah, it really hurts. No level 6 Bata, they might have gone for it then.
Sure.
And even if they didn't, they have Han available, which the way bottom could think about popping this one on the Puppey, who is just standing there and taking it, being Gyrocopter, and it looks like Puppey will live through that initiation.
Yeah, raindrops to the rescue on that one.
Top lane Ace is here again. Yeah, you'd love to be able to see some more pressure, but not having the levels on that Gyrocopter that's supposed to be getting active early.
Okay, mid one's here with an Arcane Rune though, and he's ready to go in. They really got to make plays here.
He in really deep. He doesn't have another remnant out. They've got him caught. Solo's level 6 mid one. Just ran into hell and is gonna get pushed.
Yeah, he definitely overestimated the Arcane Rune. He's like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then he got it up for Ebola.
Oh, wow. And then Ramses is back also. He's going to get sent back home and then can TP back to lane, just keeping up that farming efficiency. VP are firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, they really are. They've been looking extremely good in both these games.
Ace, top lane. Got the pendants down. They're back again. You missed me. Ramses is here. And even though the skeletons are coming out, it's just going to be more food.
And there's no relocate yet because they don't have this level. Oh, they just got it on Yapsor, actually. All right, and they have the call down. This might be their moment.
This is the turnaround here as well. They do have the still back up in 5 seconds as well. If they can kill off Ramses the first time, it could be solid as Pasha is going to get stunned. The missile connects onto Ramses, but there isn't any more follow-up.
Oh, it's so close. That was like the perfect moment. They just got it from the Ancients and from mid, but they still can't follow up with a kill. could have been so huge for Team Secret. And now with them relocating back, they're going to smoke up and go on the aggressive hunting pup.
I mean, he does have a level 3 tombstone. This is some scary stuff, and he got it off before the disruption is there. So the double chains, the initiation for mid one, Ramses is in the middle of all of this. This is a bold move by the Spectre, almost dead, but knows his limits, and one goes down again.
They didn't fight in the tombstone.
Oh, the play comes out. Ace still living here, and they are going to clean up at least the rest of these heroes.
That's huge. They got no one with the abs. That is absolutely massive.
Yeah, and they don't have another missile here, so Solo should be able to escape. But it's still not Ramses. A big win for Secret. It's what they needed.
They absolutely desperate. It's too bad that it's mid one going down because he is going for that big purchase into the Boots of Travel, but the gold spread across one. So you're looking at 300 on Puppy, 339 onto Yapster, 327 onto the Wraith King, and then 271 onto the Gyro. And you can see right there too. I like the way they backed up. Right, they get out of the Tombstone range, and then they try and go for the fight because they know they're committed. But Ramses and no one, they both go inside, and the damage just quite isn't fast enough after mid one dies.
Yeah, if they don't get this no one kill, it's so tragic. But they do manage to pick that one up there, and well, are able to turn it back around after mid one goes down.
I like that Poppy had the 6 for that too, with the flash golem. Like he didn't. Sometimes you'll see Undying skip it, but he just ensured he had a level 6 because they found a perfect fight for it with that damage, and he was right on top of that TA when the kill happened.
TP in here actually from the Shadow Demon, who's going to go for the disruption. They
Sax
have the amplification as well. They have the Haw now. Ace, have you gone too far, my friend? Not have his ultimate up. The cooldown level 1. He gets punished. Now the Glimpse back. They caught Fata as well. He's out of mana. He's out of time. Fata's dead.
That was the old 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and we're suddenly right where we were.
Oh, the tower deny. Salt in the wound.
God. Oh no, I didn't think it could get worse. At the very least, it is space mid lane for mid, but oh no, he's got that defeatist attitude going on. He no longer has bot queued up. Oh, I gotta fight. I can't do it, guys.
I mean, he is actually still safe in the gold, so there's a chance that things go well in the next couple of minutes. He can make that change up, but clearly with this rotation now, and they save Static Storm. Mid one in some trouble. Yours the relocate, but they can potentially break the one after the fact, and they do glimpse him back into it. So much, but it can't come quickly enough, and Fata to make something as Roger's taking a lot of damage, and God comes out solo, getting dove as well under the tower. Secret just wanting to run at him, but they again lose mid one.
Yeah, at the very least, they kind of knew what was happening, right? They're trying to protect their Ember Spirit, but a lot of vision down from the Pro, and even though they didn't use a relocate, at least they're able to get a couple kills back. Well, not a couple, they'll kill in the 10.
Radiant's top tower is under
Once again, just a throwing body, sacrificing a bit for the team. As Pasha TP's down bottom to the Ancients with his Spectre. Oh, he has to go to the secret shop. Okay, fair enough. They're trying to set up a play here, but he's going to end up shadowing his Spectres. It looks like they'll be pushing into this tower. And Ramses very aggressively goes for these blade now. Side shot.
Okay. A very common pickup, I would say, among Spectres, but oftentimes if you have a good game, you just end up going for the rating to speak to what Virtus Pro want to do. Just keep dealing with the aggression that's coming from Secret.
There's a lot of uncontrollable damage here too from the Radiant, just between like the Gyrocopter and the Ember Spirit, where you can't really do much other than hurt yourself with the blade mail's act.
Well, and obviously through the Flame Guard, which is a defensive thing that mid one has.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just reflect it right back.
They have another Static Storm in 5 seconds. Mid one sees some heroes. Got a few. He's going right into this one. Apparently feels confident being able to make this fight. The rest of the heroes are in the area. They managed to find the stomp, but still gonna kill off Solo.
Yeah, play. Could tell that there was no one else there from Virtus Pro. Spectre down bottom, TA in the mid. So. Just gotta jump on that sort of, even if he threw out the Static Storm, then Ember would have been completely fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I think that part of this too, Secret recognizing, all right, long cooldowns. This is the problem that you run into with Spectre, is not being able to always have Haunt up, and it was 20 seconds away at the end of that fight. So trying to take advantage of that timing, and they do need to be a little bit careful now with Solo respawning.
Interesting that no one's opted for the Deso first too. Just because it's relatively squishy, I would say, with the IO. Like, that's one of those assassination targets you core when you play, you know, pick this Weaver or this Clinks or something specifically against it. And so a Blink TA can often fulfill that same role. But instead, he's going to just be relying on the positioning to come out from the Shadow Demon, because you have this offlaner that can kind of set up for fights if anyone's in the wrong spot. And then Disruptor is the other major punishment on positioning in Dota 2. So just relying on the supporting cast here to make sure that no one just walks up and slaps down some damage. And he's even thinking about going straight BKB after.
Wow.
That would be a first. I don't remember last time I saw TA completely skip Blink Dagger like that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of does make sense, like with all of the magical damage, what does this lineup of Secret do against BKBs at this early time? You just have like skeleton punching people, right? I guess Wraith King is starting to get into some damage too, going to the Armlet. This is what we saw from Subla yesterday. Bassi, Armlet, and then into Blink afterwards.
I wonder if his Blade Mill or his Blink. I think he probably needs the Blink. I think he needs to just like be up in the face and force him to fight him, kind of a deal. All right, Shadow Blade, that'll work too. If he's looking for a Silver Edge here, fair enough. That's very pricey though, so we'll see if he actually ends up going that way. But for now, with the early Deso, it does mean that you rush much faster here. They'll scan it out, they'll put the trap. You're not going to fully commit though. Disruption save again from Pasha.
Nice play, but Solo's still in trouble, and with the missile on him, will eventually go down.
Very selective with their fight here. Not going to start it with the Haunt. Oh, actually has no buyback. Despite it being only about 250, the true position 6 even afford that. If they had it with the Haunt, they could definitely fight. I mean, they're thinking about it without it, but once again, they don't have the mobility for the TA. They kind of know that the buyback's a possibility, though. In fact, at this point, it's too slow a Roche for them, so likely just getting helping Virtus Pro.
Yeah, see, that's the downside, is that they don't really have a great Roche take of their own as far as like Medallion pickup yet or anything like a Deso. So because of that, they're gonna have to wait. It does look like one ended up going back to travel. And well, there you go. VP just gonna walk in and secure themselves the Aegis.
Maybe they also didn't have a sentry or something. Probably definitely, but very difficult to take Roche up against TA without sentries. Never know if you get a trap in there, but Roche falls very quickly with the help of the Medallion from the Chen.
Immediate. They want to party.
They got smoke, they got gyro. They got where is it? There it is.
Called it out, and Fata down to low HP very quickly, but still living through it. They have enough statics down onto Puppy. Ramses is taking down the Tombstone, and just like that, Secret need to back out. No Tombstone, no gyro. The trap is laid down perfectly. Ace walking to everybody. He does have his ultimate up, so he can go down a second time and still be back up here as Roger trying to live. They're still living with the rest of these heroes too.
He held ever so long.
Punch, and no one is going to go down, but now mid one has showed up trying to take down this Ember rather than Disruptor, and Ace finding the stun on it. One finding a kill, are going to be able to bring down the Aegis one time. Can they get in a second? Everybody is so low, and Ramsey's just trying to walk into this. He isolates the Absorb with the right clicks, and they are going to kill off no one.
Puppy with the Spirit Vessel too. They'll grab that kill from Pasha. But yeah, no one going down a second time. It's definitely a big problem. They chase further?
I mean, Solo doesn't have glimpse. They got the hit as well on missile for Ramses. He does have a missile, or rather a dagger to throw out, and Bata can't chase.
Wow. Virtus Pro, even with an Aegis, yeah, that was very costly. Losing all your momentum, you're kind of a little bit of a chip for going deeper without being punished too easily. And how about Ace in that team? After a really rough game on Weaver, I think he's been a kind of difficult one, and this like Wraith King that kind of has to be like this active brawler type, not farming all too much. He did almost 4,000 damage, bro, 4 stuns, just constantly active and tossing away to provide a lot of damage to the team.
Yeah, and that's the strength, I think, of just this Armlet build. It allows you to stay survivable so much longer. Like, I think that Virtus, as we can see here on this fight, we're anticipating taking him down, like, right at the outset. Obviously, they killed off Fata at the beginning.
Yeah, because you want to dodge the Wraith. Like, you want to kill this Gyro. That's perfect stuff. And then right after that, ideally, you want the IO, but slowed down by the Tombstone. Mid one escapes, and then that great TA trap gets popped here. Slows down Yapsor and Puppy. But, yeah, Ace just kind of wanders on in. Says, all right, fight me.
He makes himself, like, you have to deal with this guy. And no one, obviously not capable of chasing that whole way through, doesn't want to dive under the tower, and instead they want to take the Wraith King down.
Yeah, it looks like kind of miscommunication too. Like a very split fight from Virtus Pro, where you've got kind of the Shadow Demon Disruptor up top, fight a couple heroes, and then TA and Spectre on their own. And we talk about how this TA, no Blink Dagger. So not really looking to fight by herself. She's trying to get a little bit of assistance from her allies here. And in a fight, might have found ourselves another one. It looks like Ace has, you know, he will help my weak and puny allies where he can. Thank you, Ace, because that's what he did in that last fight. His allies are quite weak and puny.
Is that the only, like, chat line for a hero that's in all caps?
Wraith King's all caps. The king, you know, king is capital.
That's fair
He
enough.
doesn't do anything lowercase. Whole life.
What a guy. Oh man, interesting coming out from that spirit too. He's going for a Heaven Halberd, which is an item we've been seeing more and more often nowadays. This would be the first time I've seen it on an Ember.
A little bit of survivability. Very good against Templar Assassin.
You look at
Certainly the
those
main
odds,
reason.
too. About back towards even. I think it was a lot further ahead into the favor of this pro just a little while ago.
Sure it was. Ramsey's now, because of this Blade Mail first, he's now opting towards a Manta after. Doesn't really feel like he can go back for Radiance, because then that's going to be at a timing where it's not quite as effective.
Going for the Spectral Dagger cooldown, as we've seen more often. One of the nice parts about the Blade Mail, just that little bit of extra in to deal with it, and obviously the Aquila is going to hit the region that you need, at least at some degree.
Yeah, and it's a really good Manta game with the variable blessing dodge, and then you also have the bolas you can escape too.
Look at this puppy stack take.
Yeah,
that
this
we've
is
got
really
going.
good. Underrated aspect about Undying, it is pretty costly though, just with your Tombstone being used, but it enables heroes like this Ember Spirit to farm Ancients a lot faster than they can otherwise.
And even
What's the skeletons? Okay. That's just excessive.
Jarek picks up the BKB, drums on top of that.
Look at these backstabbing skeletons. Range creep never saw it coming. They don't know where they're going. These guys just get all over the place.
Oh, they're all gonna die.
Radiant are scanning.
Rip. Skeletons. Yeah, it's the Virtus Pro pressure though that I mean I don't think that they need to be as aggressive in this one. At least like you still have that sort of Spectre in your back pocket in a way. It doesn't feel like it's the same rate of farming at least. But it does feel like if you can hold out this game long enough, Ramses will probably be able to carry you.
Yeah, but it's fighting against the Gyro, so I think it's like just as strong, if not stronger, than the Spectre. So I think going late, it should just be a really good game. And Ember Spirit is the X factor because he should be able to control the wave just as well as the Templar Assassin with the traps, but the traps are a lot safer. So if people don't get caught pushing waves, that's where they get problems. But if he's able to just keep doing this like back and forth with the TA and keep them even that way, then I would give the edge a little bit to Secret. So I do think that this Gyro IO is ridiculous.
All right, Ramses getting his Manta right now, has Haunt available. They can blow up YapzOr at the beginning of the fight. It would be fantastic as no one could get hit by one of the rockets. They're still waiting.
They have the mech on YapzOr. There's still no Glimmer Cape though from anyone.
And one does have himself an Iron Remnant. Maybe Popper, oh, and they gotta take the fight now. They jump in with the Hawk down there on top of him. Fada's doing a ton of damage.
That's
Not
so
going down at all. He hit alive. Fada's down to low HP, but still living, just barely slow. Get away. That trap doesn't do anything at all. Rims has the rocket on him now too, and nobody dead from Seeken, and TA dead. This should be another core picked up.
Undying, ladies and gentlemen. That was ridiculous. No one spent the entire first like 5 seconds of the fight just hitting this tombstone, and we just rips it, and you're like, well, we lost. There were zombies everywhere. Did you see no one trying to walk? He was just like running in place. He was on the treadmill trying to chase after Fada, and he just waltzes away, zooming around with his little helicopter.
Yeah, this is a real problem, and the BKB also for Gyrocopter. In a lot of ways, we talked about, you know, what is it that Secret? Also, what did Virtus Pro do? If the TA is dead, they really don't have that much damage through it. Doesn't matter that the Gyro had a rough lane. He's back in full force now. They're gonna pick 4 bounty runes for themselves, taking the tier 1 tower, and suddenly they're being behind for a while as you see this fight here break out. Secret is a 3,000 gold.
It was a bit of an awkward start, right? Like, 'cause the way we want these fights to start, it is with a glimpse, but then it's a static storm, and that wasn't what happened. It was just no one with his BKB, and they felt forced to go in.
That stun onto the disruptor to interrupt the static storm from going down. Such a key play there from Ace.
But look at no one. Look at this. The mech comes out.
Oh, you can't do it. That's so slow.
So slow. And then Ramses as well just cannot escape. Great catch from mid-1. Just one of the best heroes to keep a fight going. Once you get one little kill in a fight like that, Ember will lead your team to victory.
The trap does take down the reincarnation from the Wraith King, but he had it up to level 2, so it's already just about 40 seconds away. Up again, and then VP.
Oh, there's more there though.
It's scary.
They did the Ace, so they're trying to camp behind this Invis rune.
Dire are
And that could
scanning.
actually spell disaster there for mid-1 if he tried to abuse the Invis that he found.
Playing that's safe. they have an inkling that this is where they want to fight. Now they're moving outside of the range of the heroes in particular. They drop down the tombstone. The static storm is there as well. Can they kill off mid one in time? He's been down very low and is going to fall. Meanwhile, on the backside, they relocate in and take down Pasha, Dota, and Yapzor. And as they take down the Chen as well, that's 3 heroes dead for the Ember.
Okay, Fada just go. He's basically playing Puck this game. And if a Puck can initiate and cause 3 heroes to die, that's fine. Now he can catch them on fire. Oh, sorry, yes, mid one's playing Puck this game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Easy peasy.
I mean, he's died 5 times. Usually when an Ember does that in a game, it's bad. This game, it's working out for him.
Yeah, it is not a big deal.
27 minutes, and Spectre still looking for the items to dominate these fights. It's a very different style from the Radiance, but the Diffusal Blade, when that comes out, is another big power spike, because then you can just hone in on one of those heroes with the Inhibit.
Yeah. Well, it's actually getting some use here out of that Shadow Blade.
Oh my god, and they just tear apart these supports again. The missile is a lot of damage, and the spam is there from Pasha. If they can start getting these stacks up, they need to be careful about how quickly they're able to get the count towards them, but the missile is going to connect and forces Pasha back.
Where's the
Tier 3 tower's going down?
Where's my IO tether? Give me my Wraith King X. No, but seriously, they get on Pasha now, level 15 on the X, so this tower is gone.
Uppy drops the tombstone before he's not even going to fall down. They have heals there for him, and no one pops the BKB trying to fight. The Hulk is out as well. Uppy down low, but it's still being throughout all of this. They're fighting the tombstone, and no one is being taken down slowly because Bata's on top of him, but they have the instant can't get away, and Spectre's down too. No buyback, 50 seconds. Good send back there to keep TA alive, but they're going to need a miracle to hold it.
This tombstone is so strong. Like, he's on focus, and now there's all these heroes. They're sustained. They have an IO. Yapzor surviving. All that matters. The buyback now from mid one, easily back into it for that kill. And I think Secret might have done it here in game 2. They're finally turning on the Jets. I mean, no one can do nothing but lay some traps here for the inevitable push that will come to.
I mean, the plus side is that VP should have Ramsey's back up before Secret are ready to sort of barrel down lane again, as mid one is trying to push this one out. But again, this is going to be a Spectre without Haunt for 100 seconds.
At the very least, these two should be able to slow it down. I don't know, depending glyphs and everything. If you're Secret, you should probably go get Roche. Right? Like,
Yeah.
That fight went really well for you. But this is kind of scary on the dark side. Oh, another tombstone.
Disruption onto Fada. A lot of them drop down. They have ulti as well. Fada is, well, my god, the damage onto Solo. He's just gone again in a second. They have the blade mail while Ramsey's. I don't think he has the HP to survive through this. The chains, it's right on the edge, and they've caught up the Spectre as Ace is going to walk forward, looking for the stun, looking for the kill. Dead again, 50 seconds, no buyback.
Excellent game, mid one. He has been so good on the playmaker. Just, he enabled every single fight for them. You know, this is the kind of stuff no one needed, right? In no one's game, he needs someone who's doing this sort of, where he's just grabbing everyone before he hit his blink dagger and allowing them to actually fight. But it was not working out for Virtus Pro in that way. Mid one making it so easy for Ace, as well as Fada in this game.
Yeah, and it's a 10,000 gold lead right now. Team Secret, as it has just ballooned up over the past couple of minutes. Their draft is hit in stride, and they're punishing. This VP lineup, it's mid one smells blood. Just going to run here, Roger, and never stood a chance.
No. Zero hope. And they're gonna rotate right on through. Io Gyro, ready with the relocate if they can spot a good fight. I will say they've done a great job making Solo a complete and utter non-factor over the past 15 minutes. You know, he had a pretty strong start. Things were looking good. Some classic Solo Dota. But then the Shadow Blades were coming through. They were just targeting him down. They know how important he is in order to actually bring down mid one, because this is a guy with no true defensive item. He has the Halberd, which in a sense is, but clearly does nothing against control from a Static Storm.
Right.
So the fact that they're eliminating him every single time is very strong. And the other hero that people are probably going to look towards, if VP don't manage to bring this one back, will be the Shadow Demon. What has he really provided this game from Pasha? He didn't rich enough to go towards like this Aghanim Scepter, which obviously looks pretty strong. Even with 30% XP gain, he's still not up to level 20 or even up to level 25 with the 2 charge disruption, which is pretty crazy. I think that they were or maybe mainly focus on this idea of like countering out the Wraithfire Blast, maybe, and like these like any sort of single targets that they were going to bring forward, but it's not been that effective.
Yeah. Well, and I think also illusion created with Spectre is always pretty nice as well.
Sure.
But you also didn't go the base builds, so you don't get that extra bit of gold income that you might have otherwise for Pasha.
No one. Be forced to use the BKB here. It's one more charge.
Oh, and they relocate on top of them. But the TP out will
Radiant's
secure
bottom
themselves.
tower is
Retreat.
under attack.
Got themselves some cheese, got an Aegis. It's all hunky-dory right now for Secret. Actually, Fata picking up the Satanic Neck. KB.
Yeah, just worry about bladed mails. Only one to be concerned about on the Spectre, though. No one else able to really purchase it and be effective.
32 minutes, 12,000. Will lead at 20-13. Ramses still struggling to try and finish off this Diffusal Blade. Only about 400 away, but while this is happening, they're losing no one. He doesn't have his BKB because he used trying to escape earlier, and now nowhere left to go. They lose him again. Ramsey also goes down in the mid lane. Right now, VP are crumbling.
Yeah.
Secret love it.
That's cool. Yeah, no buyback. As you said, he's just struggling for Diffusal recipes. What are the chances he has buyback? Well, about 0. Now, Secret won't know that, but I'm sure they'll still play up here as they do have their cheese available here onto Ace and that Aegis on Vada.
Dire's bottom shrine is under
Wow.
attack.
Very solid performance here from Secret after falling behind in a lot of their games. And GG's just called. They don't have an answer. Before the second tier 3 tower is even taken, VP tap out.
Yeah, this game. I think they just didn't really get that ball rolling that they were looking for with the Templar Assassin and the Shadow Demon. Ramsey had the space. Maybe the Blade Mill was part of the issue. I kind of felt that way, you know, like, was it really that strong? But they had to fight. I guess Secret ended up winning those fights with the Blade Mill anyway, so does that mean you should have just sat back and tried to get a Reigns and farm that way? I'm not sure what Virtus Pro are going to think about that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
They want to play it in their later series, but Secret get the much needed win. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you look at what their draft and what their game was looking like leading up to this 1-4 to start all the group stages, and then they're able to pull it back, get themselves a win against VP in that one. And I would say that they had